still at stage 11,
Mm-hmm.
and our paragraph page is 965.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. And our last headword was by ear, new word type
Mm-hmm.
of lesson.
Yes.
Okay, let's start with revision, general writing. Okay,
Okay.
here we go. First question. When
Mm-hmm.
we create a piece of writing, like a letter or an essay, for example, how can we ensure that we've included all the information we need to and that our information is clearly organized? When we create a piece of writing, like a letter or an essay, for example, how can we ensure that we've included all the information we need to and that our information is clearly organized? When we create
Where we
a piece
create
of
a
writing,
piece of writing
like a letter
like a
or
letter
an essay,
or an
for
essay,
example,
for
we
example,
can ensure
we can
that we've
ensure
included
that we've
all
included
the information
all the
we need
information
to
we need to,
and that our
and that
information
our
is
information
clearly
is
organized.
clearly
Organized
organized
by making a
by
simple
making
plan
a simple
on
plan
paper
on paper
before we start.
before we start.
Very good. Is it important to separate our writings into different paragraphs? Is it important to separate our writings into different paragraphs? It's important
It's
to
important
separate
to
our
separate
writings
our writings
into different
into
paragraphs
different
so
paragraphs
that the reader
so that
knows
our reader knows
when we are
when we
changing
are
subject
changing subject
or starting a new
or
point.
starting our new point.
Very good. What must we remember to put at the beginning of any piece of writing? What must we remember to put at the beginning of any piece of writing? We must remember.
We must remember,
One more. We must
we
remember
must
to
remember
put an
to put
introduction
an
paragraph
introduction paragraph
at the beginning
at the
of
beginning
any piece
of
of
any
writing.
piece of writing
Why? Why? So that the reader
so that
knows
a reader knows
why we're writing
why we are writing
and what they're
and
going
what they're going
to read about.
to read about.
Right? When should we not use a contraction in writing? When should we not use contraction in writing? We should not use
We should not
contractions.
read contractions.
One more. We should not use
We should not read used
contractions in writing
contractions in writing
when we want to
when
use
we want to use
a formal
a
style.
formal style.
Very good. How can we decide whether a piece of writing should be written in a formal style or not? How can we decide whether a piece of writing should be written in a formal style or not? We can decide
We can
whether
decide
a piece of
whether
writing
a piece of writing
should be written
should be written
in a formal
in
style
a formal
or
style
not
or not
by thinking about
by thinking
who
about
will read it.
who really did it.
Very good. How can linking words and expressions help with writing? How can linking words and expressions help with writing? Linking words
Linking
and
words
expressions
and
can
expressions
help with
can help
writing
with writing
because they connect
because they connect
our ideas
our
together
ideas together
clearly.
clearly.
Greg, give me four examples of linking words and expressions, please. Give me four examples of linking words or expressions, please. However,
However,
consequently,
consequently,
or in order to,
or in order to,
owing to.
owing to,
Greg, when we've finished writing, what kinds of things should we check? When we've finished writing, what kind of things should we check? When we've finished
when
writing,
we finish writing,
we should check
we
our
should check
punctuation,
our punctuation,
spelling,
spelling,
and grammar.
and grammar.
Very good. Which region of your country is best known for its gorgeous landscape? Which region of your country is best known for its gorgeous landscape?
Kyoto
Is the region
is a
of my
region of
country
my
which
country
is best
which
known
is best
for
known
its gorgeous
is
landscape.
its gorgeous
Landscape.
gorgeous landscape.
Very good. If I was off sick one day, would someone else come to teach this class or would the lesson be cancelled? If I was off sick one day, would someone else come to teach this class or would the lesson be cancelled? If you were off
If
sick,
you are off
sick
sick
one day,
sick one day,
someone else would
someone
come
else would
to
come
teach this
to
class.
teach this class.
Very good. If I say I'm off now, see you later, what does the word off mean? If I say I'm off now, see you later, what does the word off mean? If you say
If you
I'm
say,
off now,
I'm off
see
now,
you later,
see you later,
the word off
the word
means
off means
you're leaving.
you're leaving.
Where do painkillers normally come in tablet forms? Do painkillers normally come in tablet forms? Yes.
Yes?
Painkillers
Painkillers
normally come
normally come
in tablet forms.
in tablet forms.
And what's the normal dose? What's the normal dose? It depends.
It depends,
But the normal
but the
dose
normal dose
is two tablets.
is 2 tablets.
Very good. Okay. Next, what am I doing? What am I doing? You're winking.
You are winking.
What's the difference between the verbs wink and blink? What's the difference between the verbs wink and blink? The difference
The
between
difference
the
between
verbs wink
the verb wink
and blink
and
is
blink
that
is
winking
that winking
involves
in my verbs
involves
involves
closing only
closing
one
only
eye,
one eye,
whereas blinking
whereas blinking
involves
involves
closing both eyes.
closing both eyes.
Very good. Do you think it's a good idea to keep one's private life distinct from one's work life? Do you think it's a good idea to keep one's private life distinct from one's work life? Yes or no?
Oh, yes.
I think it's a
I
good
think it's a
idea
good
to
idea
keep one's
to keep
private
one's
life
private life
distinct from one's
distinct
work
from
life.
one's work life.
Very good. Why? Why? Because
Because problems can be when you get too familiar
mhm,
with the colleague.
very good. Problem may occur when you get too familiar with colleagues. Okay, very good. Can a haircut make a distinct difference to a person's appearance? Can a haircut make a distinct difference to a person's appearance? Yes, a
Yes,
haircut
haircut
can make a
can
distinct
make a
difference
distinct difference
to a person's
to
appearance.
person's appearance.
Very good. How do you usually occupy your spare time? How do you usually occupy your spare time? I usually
I
occupy
usually occupy
my spare time
my spare time
by
with by various activity.
very good. Who are the occupants of the house next to yours? Who are the occupants of the house next to yours? The
Mhm. The
occupants of
occupants
the house
of the house
next to mine
next to
are
mine are Mr. and Mrs. Sato.
very good. When teenagers have a party, is there normally a good deal of mess to clean up afterwards? When teenagers have a party, is there normally a good deal of mess to clear up afterwards? Yes.
Yes,
When teenagers
when
have
teenagers
a party,
have a party,
there is normally
there is
a
normally
good deal of
a good
mess
deal of mess
to clear up
to
afterwards.
clear up the wall afterwards.
Very good. If it were raining and I said it looked as though it will clear up soon, what would I mean? If it were raining and I said it looked as though it will clear up soon, what would I mean? If it were raining
If it were raining
and you said
and you
it
said
looked as though
it look as
it
though
will clear up
it
soon,
will clear up soon,
you'd mean that
you'd mean
it
that
was going to stop
it's going to stop
raining
raining
soon.
soon.
Very good. Okay, next. Which aspect of your job do you like most? Which aspect of your job do you like most? The aspect
The
of my
aspect
job
of my
I
job
like the most
I like
is
the most is that I get to meet a lot of people.
very good. Okay. Would you say you are good at carrying out instructions with great efficiency? Or do you have a tendency to take too long getting things done? Would you say you were good at carrying out instructions with great efficiency? Or do you have a tendency to take too long getting things done? Yes or no?
No,
I wouldn't
I
say
wouldn't
I
say
was good at
I was good at
carrying out
carrying
instructions
out
with
instructions
great
with
efficiency.
great efficiency.
I have a
I
tendency
have a
to
tendency
take too long
to take too long
getting things done.
getting things done.
Greg, do you prefer to travel by land, by sea, or by air? Do you prefer to travel by land, by sea, or by air? I prefer to
I
travel.
prefer to travel by air
Very good. Why? Why? Because?
because it's exciting and quick.
Very good. Okay, so that's the end of our revision.
Mhm.
Let's have new word. Okay, repeat. Gaze.
Gaze,
Assume.
assume.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word gaze is a verb. It
Mhm.
means to look at someone or something in a steady way and usually for a long time. For
Mhm.
example, when I was bored during the lesson way back when I was still a student, I usually gaze at the people, trees, etc. outside the window to make me feel relaxed.
Mhm.
Assume is a verb. It means to think that something is probably true without knowing that it is really true. For
Mhm.
example, if I were a teacher and saw one of my students gazing out of the window during a lesson, I would assume they were not paying attention. Let's
Mhm.
practice. If you were a teacher and saw one of your students gazing out of the window during a lesson, would you
Mhm.
assume they were not paying attention? If you're a teacher and saw one of your students gazing out of the window during a lesson, would you assume they were not paying attention? Yes or no?
No,
If I were a
if I
teacher
were a
and
teacher,
saw one of my
some
students
one of my students
gazing out
gazing
of the
out
window
of the window
during a lesson,
during a
I
lesson,
wouldn't
I
assume
wouldn't
that
assume
they were not
that they were not
paying attention.
paying attention.
Very good. Next, repeat thrill,
Thrill,
thrilling,
thrilling,
suspense,
to
suspense,
suspense,
spy,
spy,
tedious.
tedious.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word thrill is a verb. It means to cause someone to feel very excited or thrill. For
Mhm.
example, circus performers still thrill audience today. Thrilling is an adjective. It means very exciting. For example,
Mhm.
it was thrilling to see her win the race.
Mhm.
Suspense is a noun. It means a feeling or state of nervousness or excitement caused by wondering what will happen.
Mhm.
For example, there were some suspense scenes in that horror movie.
Mhm.
The word spy is a noun. It is a person who tries secretly to get information about something. For
Mhm.
example, they didn't know that he was a spy from the other company.
Mhm. Mhm.
Tedious is an adjective. It means
Mhm.
boring and too slow or long. For
Mhm.
example, he made a tedious 45-minute speech. People listening were already sleeping. Let's practice.
Mhm.
When we're describing films, what do we mean by a thriller? When we're describing films, what do we mean by a thriller? When we're
Where we
describing
are
films
describing
by
films
a thriller,
by a
we
thriller,
mean a film
we mean a
with
film
an
with
exciting
an
story
exciting story
full of mystery
full of
and
mystery
suspense.
and suspense.
Very good. Do you think the work of a spy would be mostly thrilling or often tedious? Do you think the work of a spy would be mostly thrilling or often tedious? I think
I
the
think
work of a
the work
spy
of spy
would be
would be often tedious.
tedious. Very good.
Mm.
Which famous person would you be most thrilled to meet? Which famous person would you be most thrilled to meet? I'd be most
I'd
thrilled
be most thrilled
to meet
to meet the leader of my country.
Prime Minister. Very good. Okay, next repeat nickname.
Nickname.
Very good. Okay, listen. Nickname is a noun. For
Mhm.
example, my name is Ariel. My
Mhm.
nickname is Ai. So they call me
Mm.
Ai, my friends. Okay,
Mm.
let's practice. Have you ever had a nickname? Have you ever had a nickname? Yes or no?
Yes,
I've had.
I've
One
had.
more. Yes,
Uh,
I have had
yes, I have
a
had a
nickname.
nickname.
What was your nickname?
Matcham.
Machan. How did you get that nickname? How did you get that nickname? I got that
Oh, I
nickname
got that nickname
because
because original family name is Matsushima.
uh-huh. And then
Uh,
Chan
yeah,
for friend or like
yes.
close friend. Very good. Machan.
Old
Very
friend,
good.
yeah.
Very good. So Matsushima was your maiden name, right?
Maiden name.
Maiden name
Yes.
before you got married,
Mm.
right?
Oh, yes.
Very good.
Change name, change surname, yeah.
That's correct. Okay.
Mm.
Very good. Next, repeat the run.
Run,
Weekday.
weekday.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word run is a verb. It means a trip using any kind of transportation, such as bus, taxi, train, etc. For
Mm.
example, jeepney in my town run 24 hours a day.
Mhm.
Okay, weekday is a noun. It means any day of the week except Saturday and Sunday.
Mhm.
That's weekday. For
Mhm.
example, the library is open on weekdays from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Let's
Mhm.
practice. Do some buses in your town run more frequently on weekdays than at weekends? Do some buses in your town run more frequently on weekdays than at weekends? Yes or no?
Oh, yes.
Some buses
Some
in my
buses
town
in my
run
town
more
run
frequently
more frequently
on weekdays
on
than
weekdays
at
than at
weekends.
weekends.
Very good. Next, repeat. Drop in,
Drop in,
drop by.
drop by.
Very good. Okay, listen. Drop in is a phrasal verb. It means to
Mhm.
come by or to visit a particular place. For
Mhm.
example, my friends drop in for some time to chat with me.
Mhm.
Drop by is a phrasal verb. It is another meaning of to drop in.
Mhm.
Okay, let's practice. Do you like to be surprised by friends dropping in for a chat, or do you prefer them to give you a ring to let you know they're coming? Do you like to be surprised by friends dropping in for a chat, or do you prefer them to give you a ring to let you know they're coming? Yes or no?
Mhm. Oh, oh yeah, yes.
I like to be
I like
surprised
to be
by
surprised
friends
by
dropping
friends
in
dropping
for a
in
chat.
for a chat
Very good. Thanks, repeat. On business.
on business.
Holiday maker.
Holiday maker.
Tip.
Tip.
Very good. Okay, listen. On business means doing a certain activity or going to a certain place for business purpose.
Mhm.
For example, people who are on business wear formal clothes.
Mhm.
Holiday maker is a noun. It also means a person who takes a vacation somewhere. For example,
Mm.
in summer, there are usually lots of holiday makers sunbathing on the beach in the Philippines.
Mm.
Tip is a noun. It means a piece of advice or useful information. Tip.
Mm.
For example, the tip I'd offer a holiday maker who was visiting my country for the first time would be to bring loose clothes, shorts, glasses, etc. for the
Mhm.
hotness of the atmosphere. Okay,
Mm.
so let's practice. At a hotel, how can
Mhm.
we tell the difference between holiday makers and those who are there on business? At a hotel, how can you tell the difference between holiday makers and those who are there on business? At
Mhm.
a hotel,
At the
you
hotel,
can tell the
you
difference
can tell the difference
between holiday
between
makers
holiday
and
makers
those who are
and
there
those who are there
on business by.
on business by mm,
How can
business
you tell?
by
How can you tell if the person in
mm,
the hotel is
per-
a
per-
holiday maker or
mm,
they're on business?
their own business.
By
Oh, they
by their clothes.
by their mm,
By their
their
clothes.
clothes by their
Very,
clothes. Mm.
very good. Okay. What tip would you offer a holiday maker who was visiting your country for the first time? What tip would you offer a holiday maker who was visiting your country for the first time? The tip
Mhm.
I'd
A tip
offer
I'd
a
offer
holiday
a
maker
holiday
who
maker
was visiting my
who
country
visiting my
for the
country
first time
for the
would
first
be
time would be well would be
what tip would you give
a tip
a
well
holiday
will give
maker
a
who's
holiday
first
maker
time going in Japan?
first time going to Japan.
My
Oh,
would my
smartphone,
bring your smartphone like
but
that,
a
or
smartphone.
bring a lot of money, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of
All right,
money.
to enjoy. Okay, very good. Next, repeat. Irritable.
Irritable.
Very good. Okay, listen. Irritable is an adjective. It means becoming angry or annoyed easily. For
Mm,
example, I don't get irritable if I go without food for a long time because I don't like eating very much. Oh,
mm,
very good. Let's practice. Do you get
mm,
irritable if you go without food for a long time? Do you get irritable if you go without food for a long time? Yes or no?
oh yes,
I
I
get
get
irritable
irritable
if I go
if I
without
go
food
without
for a
food
long time.
for a long time.
Very good. Next, repeat stack.
Sack.
Get the sack.
Get a sack.
Fire.
Fire.
Employment.
Employment.
React.
React.
Very good. Okay, listen. Sack is a noun. It is a bag that is made of strong paper, cloth, or plastic. For example, we use sack for transporting things like vegetables, especially potatoes, squash, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Get the sack is an idiom. The expression to get the sack means to be dismissed from employment. Fire is a verb. It means to
Mm-hmm.
dismiss someone from a job.
Mm-hmm.
For example, my friend was fired from his job, so she needs to find another.
Mm-hmm.
Employment is a noun. It is the state of being paid to do a job. For example, I've been looking for employment abroad.
Mm-hmm.
React is a verb. It means to behave or change in a particular way when something
Mm-hmm.
happens, is said, etc. For example,
Mm-hmm.
if I were unfairly fired from a job I like, especially if there was mass unemployment at the time, I'd react by getting angry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we stop there for today and let's move on
Mm-hmm.
to reading.
Okay.
Okay, so our reading is at stage 8, paragraph
Mm-hmm.
page 674. Last Edward
74.
plus evidence. Okay, please start at page
Evidence.
675, i.e.
75.
or id est. That is.
I, 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 e,